Something is happening right now that has every space agency on edge. The interstellar object known as 3I, our Atlas, the third visitor ever confirmed from beyond our solar system, has just done something no one thought was possible. It changed course, not slightly, not subtly, but in a way that appears to defy everything we know about celestial mechanics. For the first time in history, the International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, a United Nations-endorsed global planetary defense coalition, has begun tracking an object from another star system. But why now? Why this object? Because new data suggests that 3I our Atlas is no longer where it is supposed to be, not according to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, not according to orbital predictions, and not according to the fundamental laws of physics. If this object truly altered its trajectory while passing near the Sun, then what we are witnessing may not simply be an astronomical anomaly. It could be something far more extraordinary. The International Asteroid Warning Network, or IAWN, has one primary mission: to detect and prepare for objects that could threaten life on Earth. It is a coalition of the world's leading observatories, including NASA, the European Space Agency, and China's Purple Mountain Observatory. Until now, its focus had been limited to near-Earth asteroids and other objects originating within our own solar system. However, in late October 2025, the network made a remarkable announcement. For the first time ever, it would begin tracking an interstellar object, 3I Atlas. The official explanation was that the effort would improve astrometric precision for cometary bodies. Yet the timing raised questions. Only days earlier, 3I our Atlas had disappeared behind the Sun, and independent astronomers began reporting small but puzzling deviations in its expected position. It was supposed to emerge along a predictable path. Instead, the calculations no longer matched reality. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who had previously rated 3I our Atlas a 4 out of 10 on the likelihood of being artificial, became even more interested after these anomalies emerged. Soon afterward, the IAWN quietly elevated the object to priority status. Hundreds of telescopes around the world were redirected to monitor it, as though the scientific community was preparing for something completely unexpected. The first indication that something was wrong came from an independent group of astronomers known as Earth Exists, a respected research collective. They compared live telescope observations with predictions from NASA's JPL Horizon system, and what they discovered made headlines almost immediately. 3I Atlas was not merely a few hundred kilometers away from its predicted position. It was approximately 1.1 million kilometers away, nearly 3 times the distance between Earth and the Moon. Even more surprising, the displacement was not random. The object's distance remained nearly constant, but its position in the sky shifted sideways, as though it had moved laterally through space. Such behavior would be extremely unusual. Comets can drift slightly forward or backward because of outgassing, where jets of gas escaping from the surface act like natural thrusters. However, they do not normally move sideways in this manner. Producing such a lateral shift would require either an immense external force or an internal source of propulsion. Even Hale-Bopp, one of the largest comets ever recorded, never displayed movement with this level of precision. Yet somehow, 3I our Atlas appeared to have done exactly that. If the object had intentionally altered its orbit, someone would likely have noticed before the rest of the world. Attention soon turned toward NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. As early as September, NASA's Mars orbiters had reportedly been in an ideal position to photograph the object during its close passage near the Sun. Yet none of those images have been released publicly, not a single frame. Some internal sources claim the data is still being analyzed, while others speculate that something more deliberate is happening. If those images revealed structures or patterns of light inconsistent with a natural object, critics argue there would be strong reasons to delay their release. In one of his recent publications, Avi Loeb noted that 3I our Atlas displayed an antitail, a rare feature in which material appears to point toward the Sun rather than away from it. Following its encounter near Mars, however, the tail reportedly reversed direction, once again flowing away from the Sun, as though the object had reoriented itself. No known comet has ever reversed its jet direction in such a clean and dramatic fashion. Nevertheless, NASA has maintained that the behavior is consistent with normal cometary activity. Even so, an obvious question remains. If everything is routine, why has the world's asteroid defense network become involved? By the end of October, additional tracking data appeared to confirm that the deviation was genuine. Over a period of just 19 hours, the positional discrepancy increased by more than 4 arc-minutes, corresponding to hundreds of thousands of kilometers. According to orbital analysts, maintaining such a drift would require a lateral velocity of nearly 4 kilometers per second, far greater than the maneuvering capability of many of humanity's own deep space spacecraft. The scientific community quickly filled with competing theories. Some researchers suggested unusually powerful outgassing, while others blamed the solar wind. However, solar wind does not produce significant sideways acceleration. If the observations were accurate, then 3IO Atlas would require a mechanism capable of sustained thrust and highly precise maneuvering. Meanwhile, the IAWN organized workshops to train astronomers in monitoring unpredictable cometary behavior, and available places reportedly filled within hours. Behind the scenes, NASA's Planetary Defense Office quietly increased its level of monitoring, placing the object into the same category used for potentially hazardous asteroids. The irony, however, is that 3IO Atlas was moving away from Earth rather than toward it. So why was it being treated as a potential threat? Some believe the answer lies in an even stranger possibility, that the object may not have finished changing course. Just when astronomers thought the anomaly had stabilized, 3IO Atlas reportedly changed direction once again.